I have a bunch of really amazing and impressive machines here in the studio. But for the machine that we're checking out today, we got to take a trip to the garage. Let's go. This 400 plus pound machine next to me here is the IFMAKER M5. And the reason why I accepted this machine here in the garage of my studio is because IFMAKER told me that this is actually the easiest 5-axis CNC machine to learn. And with someone like me that has zero experience with CNC at all, let alone 5-axis, I thought that would be a pretty cool thing to learn, because let's face it, metal is end game for all of us 3D print nerds, right? Anyway, I want to talk about this machine a little bit. This thing is currently on Kickstarter, and this is a pre-production unit. It's kind of fascinating what they've managed to cram into this machine right over here. So first of all, the whole thing runs off of a PC. It's an Intel-based PC with a 12th gen processor. It has a touchscreen obviously built in here, and the cool thing about that, the unique part about that, is not only is it running the firmware for the machine, but you can also run the CAM software right on it. It doesn't have a separate cam that you install on your computer and then communicate. No, everything runs on the machine right over here. And the reason why that makes it special is because they also have 2 AI tools that are incorporated into the system, where you use the hand wheel right over here, the jogging wheel, to talk to the AI. And the part about that is, if you don't want to use the manual movements or the commands on the machine, you can just come up to it and you could have it probe, you could have it switch the tools, you could basically do any of the commands that it can handle. You can talk to the AI to do that. That's number one. The second one is actually in the CAM software. So quite technically, you could walk up to the machine. If you have some measurements and an idea for what you want, within reason of course, you can tell the AI to make you the file, and it will do its best to do it according to the specs that you gave it, and you're right in the CAM. You can then just select your tools, write the program right to the machine without ever going anywhere on a computer or any of that. You can do it right on the machine. Now, if you wanted to do it on a computer, you actually log right in to this, and the screen gets transferred onto your computer with a share screen software that's installed on there, and you can set everything up away from the machine and then walk up to it and do it that way. So that makes this self-contained and very, very simple in that sense, and the AI can help you get started in case you don't know some of the things, like myself, and it has. Future Fedor here. Quick note about the AI. So if you were to ask it for, let's say, a tool change from tool 1 to tool 2, the tool pathing on the machine is actually created by their own proprietary algorithm, not by the AI itself. So the AI will pull up commands that are already on the machine, developed by IFMAKER. All right, back to the video. The other cool things about it is it has these 3 separate systems inside of it. One is there's an air system. There's an actual air pump inside of the machine that actuates the chuck itself. So you can put the bits or the tools in and out using this standalone button right over here that powers on the pump, which is pretty cool. So you don't need an external one, although you can use an external pump like I'm using here. Just makes it a little bit faster, so you don't have to wait for the pressure to build up. So that's really cool. Then it has a bath style cooling system for the actual cutting. So there's oil in here and water, and if you're using a material like metal or something along those lines that gets hot on the bits, you can actually turn that on and it will literally cool it with water that's in this bath that has a filter in there as well. And the third system is the cooling system for the spindle. It has a PC style closed loop right inside, and that cools the spindle as it runs. So all of that is just making this thing kind of a powerhouse for a hobbyist or a prosumer for a pretty impressive price for what you're getting here for a 5-axis machine. With 3D printing, we're used to getting bigger and bigger 3D print areas. So this machine is limited by its workspace here. However, the fact that it's 5-axis, it can rotate freely and make all kinds of amazing parts, all without not having to rechuck it nearly as much as you would with something like a CNC router, for example, which I have very limited experience with. So that is just this in a nutshell as a super beginner. I'm not going to get into specs here because you can get all that stuff from the manufacturer, from the Kickstarter. I am literally just now learning this machine. I'm starting to cut my first parts here and just getting my head wrapped around the tools. This seems to be the biggest part about the whole thing. The machine, how it moves, how you interact with it, that is simple. I'm comparing this to 3D printing, by the way. But the part that really, that I personally have a hard time or harder time wrapping my head around is the tools, because knowing each one of these bits and what they're for and how to use them properly is the more complicated part about this. So if you have that experience, if you know how to do this and when to use these tools, this machine is going to be a huge enabler for you, which I'm here for. All right, if you guys think that that sounds pretty cool, check out the links down in the description. It's going to take you to the Kickstarter page. Watch the videos there, read what they have about it, read about the company. Now, I'm really excited to get to know this thing a little bit better, switch from wood to aluminum or to brass. Just wanted to start with a softer material so I don't break bits while I'm learning. I already have. And man, is this thing super fun to use. One more thing about the jog wheel is not only can you move the separate axis on the machine, but the cool part about it is when you have a program installed on the machine, you can actually use the jog wheel to simulate the entire process before the machine kind of takes over. So one, you can just load the program, hit start and let this thing go, or you can load the program and use the jog wheel to quite literally move the job along the process and have full control in tiny increments. And if you're ready to go, you can just go ahead and hit the start button and just let the thing rip. You can also pause at any given time and use the jog wheel to get through certain sections. If you want to slow something down, you're unsure how it's going to work, instead of losing something or breaking bits or ruining material, whatever, or ruining the job, you can always grab the jog wheel and use that. And it just jumps on a magnet right there, has a built-in rechargeable battery. Talk to AI if you have questions about any of the process or the machine. How cool is that? Anyway, guys, check out the machine. Check out 3D Print SOS for cool merch like this. And as always, I'll see you down in the comments. Let me know what you guys want me to mill on this thing. Let's go.